Hey friends, this is Pastor Brad Reaves, and you are watching Prophecy News Brief from Coming Soon Ministries. And today we want to ask the question, what happens when we go from 5G to 6G and beyond? Well, the answer to that question may be a reality far sooner than we think. Today we're going to talk about an executive order that's come out regarding the advent of 6G technology. Before I get into that, I want to encourage you to like and subscribe this channel where you'll find up-to-date relevant information. You'll find great podcasts with some of the best prophetic voices that are out there in the United States and around the world. You'll get updates on events that are happening and how they affect our lives and point to the coming of Messiah Jesus Christ. I also want to invite you to go to our Substack page where you'll find incredible information that ties all this together. You can become a subscriber and find exclusive content as well. Also, check out our upcoming Abraham to Armageddon Prophecy Conference in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Some of the greatest voices regarding dispensational theology and prophecy are coming together for one day, and you don't want to miss this event. It's live, and it's also live streamed, so be sure to register and save your spot. Now, let's get into today's story, because I want to bring something to your attention today that quietly came out of the White House called Winning the 6G Race. And I have the executive order right here in front of me. I want to read the opening statements to this and listen carefully. He says, by the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, I hereby direct. And he goes into the purpose. And this is where we really get into some significant language. It says the next generation of mobile communication networks, 6G, will be foundational to national security, foreign policy, and economic prosperity of the United States. Now listen to this. This technology will play a pivotal role in the development and adoption of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, robotics, and implantable technologies. 6G will also provide faster, more resilient, and more secure communication networks that can be utilized for national security and public safety purposes. He goes on to say that the policy of the United States is to lead the world in 6G development. Now, from a pragmatic standpoint, this sounds very good. This sounds like we are advancing technology and we are going forward with being the leader in the world with these kind of things. But I want you to see how President Trump ties prosperity with technological advancement, including artificial intelligence and implantable devices. This is not just another technology or national security policy. This is something that every watchman needs to see, because buried in this, it stopped me cold as I read this. He says 6G will play a pivotal role in the development and adoption of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, robotics, and implantable technologies. Now, friends, I've written extensively on the beast system that's going to take place, that's going to take control of the world through the coming of the Antichrist. And I wrote it from a perspective that gives grounding in Scripture to see how things are being assembled around us. The coming of artificial intelligence, and especially transhumanism, i.e. implantable devices, wearable devices, is a major part of that system. Now, this is no longer speculation. This is not some conspiracy blog that I'm putting together. That's the official language of the United States government. For all intents and purposes, 6G isn't faster internet. It's infrastructure. And this is why 6G is so important to the coming of artificial intelligence and the beast system, because it's the nervous system for the world to be built on through artificial intelligence, real-time data processing, and yes, implantable technologies, things that will be implanted, like maybe some kind of chip or some kind of device that will keep your medical records and your banking records and all of your stuff. This goes beyond RFID. This takes real-time data and uses it for surveillance and for buying and selling and complacency in a system that's coming. By the way, they have developed more than just quantum dot tattoos now. They have printable circuit boards that can be put on your hand or your arm or your body just by using simple printing technologies. All of this, they tie to national security. Of course, they tie it to public safety. And of course, they tie it to global leadership. And of course, they tie it to prosperity. That's the carrot. But where it's leading us, and I'm not saying this is what President Trump intends, but this is what the next natural step is that it's going to take us into a beast system of surveillance, control, and compliancy. In plain terms, this is about total connectivity. We've talked about before about the Internet of Things. This is total connectivity, total integration, and total dependence upon systems. How many times have you had to turn around from driving to wherever you were to go get your phone? We are dependent upon this now, and we know that Apple is coming out with digital ID so that they are going to integrate that into their phone system, into their phones and their technologies. So digital ID is going to be a mandatory part of Apple products. Hear me clearly. This isn't the mark of the beast. It's the infrastructure for the mark of the beast. And if you don't get Revelation 13, you won't understand this. Revelation 13 cannot happen without technology to enforce it. So Scripture says that a time is coming when no one will be able to buy or sell without compliance. How is that enforced? Well, through digital technology. Think about your grocery shopping, or your Christmas shopping rather, from just a few weeks ago. How many of you went to an actual store to buy your Christmas gifts for your loved ones? I was online. I did probably 80% of my Christmas shopping online. Merely having a physical mark isn't going to be enough in this society. The mark of the beast is going to have to be a digital mark. And those systems are being built. 6G connects it all together. Now, this isn't new. I want you to understand, this isn't just like like I rolled out of bed and said, oh my goodness, here we are. This is a pattern. It's Babel all over again. Unified technology, unified systems, unified ambition, all to separate us from God, all to live apart from God. Daniel told us knowledge would explode in the last days. Paul warned of a deception so powerful it would deceive the entire world. Now understand, and I get it, technology in and of itself is not evil. I use technology every day. But technology without truth, without restraint, and without God becomes a tool of deception. So this is not a moment of fear. I'm not sounding the alarm or screaming the sky is falling. I'm saying to you, believer, look up and be aware, because this is a moment for discernment. And what's happening tragically is pastors are ignoring the prophecies that are clearly written and how that's being assembled right before our very eyes. We can't ignore prophecy anymore. Believers can't assume that technology is quote unquote neutral. And the church must understand that systems are being prepared. Now, yes, we will be gone. We will be raptured. But we still need to be awake. We still need to be aware, and we still need to be awaiting, because Jesus says it would be as in the days of Noah, when people would be merry and marrying and giving gifts, but sudden destruction will come upon them. And it is our job, church, to be the watchman and point people to the truth. Because the days of Noah weren't just morally corrupt, they were also unnaturally corrupt. So if you feel like the world is accelerating, you're not imagining it. It's happening. Things are moving very quickly. I've said before that artificial intelligence is going to accelerate the advancement of technology in our society faster than anything this world has ever seen. So if something feels off, you're paying attention. Keep paying attention. And if you sense the stage is being set, you're absolutely right, and you're reading Scripture rightly. This is why we watch. This is why we warn. This is why we cling to Christ. This is why we point others to the way and the truth and the life, to Messiah Jesus Christ, not to governments, not to systems, just technology. And friends, always remember, Jesus is on the throne. And soon and very soon, the trumpet is going to sound. Until then, my friends, stay awake, stay sober, and keep your eyes on him. My name is Pastor Brad Reaves with Coming Soon Ministries, and this is Prophecy News Brief. Be sure to like and subscribe, and also check out my Substack page where you'll find more information and studies that will help keep your life grounded and your faith grounded in Jesus Christ.